Hi, guys. Welcome back. This is the snow moon, also known as the hungry moon in by the Cherokee. And so happy full moon, everyone. But let's go ahead and take a peek, Leo, at whatever the full moon message is. And we'll just kind of keep that in mind. The hungry moon, the snow moon. We have Three of Cups. We have Temperance. This looks super positive. If Leo has been fairly solo or isolated, I gotta say, Leo is really well liked by a group. Leo may start to have either a wonderful surprise where they didn't know that there's a lot more people that have friendly energy toward Leo. It could kind of be heartwarming for Leo. Relationships as a whole, friendships and such, could get much smoother and calmer. We also have a Two of Cups. So on the love front, everything here is about relationships for Leo and peaceful energy and satisfying energy. But I do keep feeling like Leo's going to be pleasantly surprised, like not realize that people hold Leo so close to their hearts. I think it's a really sweet thing where I think Leo's going to be stunned, perhaps, to discover this. We have Empress upright. I would say Leo, Leo being here, uh, they're going to start to realize I had no idea people saw me as an empress. I had no idea. It almost seems like perhaps Leo has done a lot of good deeds and they didn't think about it that way. And they didn't realize anybody was keeping score or that it was, you know, creating the image that people have of Leo. And I think it's going to be, I mean, because look, we have somebody who wants to marry Leo. We have a lover who thinks the world of Leo. And I think it's only slowly going to start to be revealed after this. It's funny because I don't think this is what Leo's hungry for. I think other people are hungry for Leo. I think Leo's quite calm, very generous, but I don't know that Leo is aware yet. Definitely not aware that there's a lover who wants Leo. There is somebody who's been healing. They could be a fire sign, which would be a great match for Leo. They may have a blue coat or wear blue like overalls or, coveralls or something. I'm picturing somebody who, like the blue, sorry, my neck just like all of a sudden spasmed. They could be somebody who wears like, I think of blue coveralls, like, maintenance work, mechanic work, that kind of thing. I don't know. Or they wear blue in as a part of a uniform or something. I'm picturing like delivery driver, all kinds of, I don't know, blue uniform, whatever that is. I'm not picturing like military, interestingly enough, though. It feels, I don't know. I first see like coveralls or something. Anyway, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, Leo has no idea how much balance they bring to other people's lives. Leo's energy is a balancing influence, okay? There is something about Leo that they don't know about themselves, about how other people in their life see them. Leo provides like normalcy, maybe calms people down and gives people a sense of like reassurance, like, okay, wow, you just totally took my stress levels from here down to here just by the way you operate. That makes sense because, why do we all call our moms when we get stressed out? Because moms have a way of making us feel like things are going to be all right. Well, Leo does that for the people in their lives as well. Maybe Leo is a mama, doesn't have to be. They just play the role of extremely elegant, sophisticated empress. I mean, Leo is this calming influence. And in particular, there's a, I'm going to say, a divine masculine who really has been going through it. Possibly they're still wounded, they're still healing. And with that Eight of Swords, they still are stuck, but they think all the time about Leo, and that helps them to navigate this trapped energy and what they need to do. They feel like Leo is their Two of Cups. King of Pentacles in the reverse. They do not have much to offer right now. So it's probably for the best that they are not in Leo's life. How is this full moon impacting them? Because is this story just to let Leo know, hey, Leo, there are people that are like, you are instrumental in their life, even if they are not actively a part of yours? Let me just ask, how's this full moon hitting them? 5 of Pentacles, and we have somebody wanting to flee. Let me see. They could be in a place that's very snowy. We have 3 of Swords sideways. I think somebody has more desire to be in Leo's life than they ever have during this full moon. You know, again, this is called the hungry moon. Somebody, not somebody, we're going to say this masculine with this King of Pentacles in the reverse, somebody who may be low on financial funds. They may be feeling very stuck in whatever lifestyle they're in. They could be in a place that's very snowy. They could be fairly heartbroken and they would love to get out of where they're at. They are extra hungry right now to just be in Leo's world. So this is somebody pining for Leo, possibly more so than ever at the moment, but they still seem to have blockages about themselves being able to come into Leo's life. Yeah, 4 of Cups. Super bummed out. They feel like they don't see, I don't see them finding a solution right now, other than Leo is this wonderful, you know, like calming influence for their mind, for their heart. But they seem very, very bummed right now because they wish that they could escape and just go be with Leo. Financially, they seem like they don't have the abundance maybe to do that. High Priestess, oh my God, their energy. I don't know if Leo's feeling other people's energy like tug at them today. Let me just ask more precisely, how is the full moon hitting Leo? We see what's going on under the surface. Hierophant, Leo could actually be pretty much connecting to their higher self today, which is awesome. If Leo is connecting to their higher self, what is that? What is the messages that Leo's getting? Ace of Pentacles sideways, Fool upright. You know what's so crazy? You know, the people who are connected to Leo, and we didn't even talk about like the friend group that maybe, you know, like really adores Leo, but that lover, the person who wants to be with Leo, that King of Pentacles in the reverse, everybody seems like they're dissatisfied with what their lives are right now. But when they think about Leo, they're like, I want to be with Leo, or I want to be more like Leo, or I want to be, you know, I want to change my circumstances. Here's the great part. Remember how Leo's always like providing balance and inspiration. Today, for the full moon, we have a Leo who is connected to their higher self, and what their higher self is acknowledging is, hey, Leo, if you want to make changes in your life, you know you can. It requires you to gravitate toward the things that you want in life, but you can absolutely do it. And I think that Leo is feeling like, let me take a look at what things in my life I'd like to change. How swiftly would I like to change them? Because I totally feel empowered to do those things. And it's so crazy because if Leo's sitting in that energy and other people are like latched on, tapping into Leo's energy, they may simultaneously be inspired in the same way. For some reason, I'm feeling more hopeful. Maybe I could change the things in my life. That is what Leo's power is able to do for the people that are latched on. Like, think of it like this. If you, well, this isn't a nice sensation. As a kid, I grabbed a hold of an electric fence before. And I vividly remember, you know, how, you know, it feels like it locks your muscles and you're being shocked. But, you know, if you were like getting shocked and then somebody else, you know, latches on to you, now 2 people are getting shocked, although maybe they'll feel a weaker amount of it as it flows through your body and into theirs. It's kind of like that. Like Leo is the person who's grabbed a hold of that live wire. But in this case, instead of it being shocking, it's a good vibe. It's, you know, I'm connected to my higher self. And my higher self is sending me the message that says, hey, Leo, anything in your life that you want to change, you know, you can do that. And Leo's like, yeah, that's right. Let me start thinking about what would I like to change. And then it's like these other people are latched onto Leo and they are also getting that energetic flow through them. Like, man, maybe I could make some change. I mean, I'm really bummed out. I know which things I'd like to change. So it could be that the people that are spying on Leo, hanging on to Leo, thinking about Leo, being influenced somehow by Leo because they care about Leo, they're inspired by Leo, they could be having a more empowered bump today also to, hey, why don't you start changing the things in your life that you want to change? But it's coming down through Leo being this conduit. So Leo, you play a really special role here. Leo, I mean, that's a different message, but Leo has like, they are a conduit of power and energy from the cosmos, and it flows through them. And anyone who chooses to be in Leo's world kind of is a beneficiary of that cosmic messaging. That's an amazing thing, Leo. And I don't see Leo depleted for it either. I see them always staying in Empress power. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Definitely, Leo is helping other people around them, whether or not they know it. Leo may have a very positive flow today. They may be thinking about the things that they want to change. Leo could be getting excited about doing something new. There could be a new idea that comes into Leo's mind, something that they care about, something they'll be doing by Valentine's Day. It's just crazy because whatever things Leo is being inspired to start contemplating, adding into their life, or doing something new, or going on a new adventure, that's going to happen pretty soon. But other people that Leo does not even realize are paying attention to Leo. They're getting the messaging as well, and it's inspiring them. There's at least two people. One of them we know is a lover. One of them is probably a friend. Let me see the final message, especially for that person who considers themselves a Two of Cups to Leo. What are you going to be doing? Queen of Swords, watching Leo like a freaking hawk, but they're also starting to get more direct downloads. That's that King of Pentacles, only they're becoming a Queen of Swords. So they could actually be an air sign. God, the sun. They're starting to have some clarity. They're starting to realize what they need to do, especially if this is somebody who wants to be with Leo. But lovers, they're starting to make a plan. I'm going to be in Leo's life. Look, I would not be at all surprised if this lover decides they're going to make the changes that they need to in their life so they can pursue things with Leo. And it may be somewhere around Valentine's Day. That very well could, this is the energy that begins this, but in 14 days, they could be in Leo's world. They could be making the changes that they need to make, but it begins today. Interesting messaging on that. All right. And I feel like as far as those friendships go, I feel like everybody interacting with Leo feels like warmer, feels more expressive, because that's how Leo's energy impacts them. They're maybe more open because Leo's been kind to them. That's fostered more kindness, more collaborative energy. Like, I think Leo has such a great impact on those around them, and maybe even the world around them to a certain extent, helping people feel more inspired, helping people feel more loving, helping people feel more accepted. Leo, that's a great message. I did not expect that. You guys take care. Thank you for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Lots of love.